Welcome back to another episode of Burning Issues Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the DC plane crashes and what's the other plane crash?
Philadelphia.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of plane crashes, and we just wanted to get on here and just give our opinion and everything. So as far as I know about the DC plane crash, I mean, there's not too much to know. They haven't talked about it a whole lot, but I know that they were saying the 160th SOAR was operating the Black Hawk. And if y'all don't know about the 160th SOAR, they don't just crash planes. They, that's the boys who transferred the Green Berets and the Navy SEALs in and out of different zones. So I really find it hard to believe that they would just fly into a civilian airliner. I really find that hard to believe.
I want to talk about the DC one last.
Okay.
Because that one has, that one's, I think, so in this episode, we're just going to be talking mostly about our personal opinion and what we think about this, because there's not too much information on both plane crashes yet. We don't know if, coincidental or it was, there's something bigger happening here, but we're going to talk about both. So I'll talk about the Philly plane crash. Mm-hmm. So it was a plane carrying Mexican doctors and nurses, and there was a Mexican patient, minor Mexican patient, going to the Philadelphia hospital for some treatment or whatever, and they're going back home. And then, they just nosedived. And I'll put a clip of that in right now. And people are saying, that doesn't look like a plane, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Could be a plane. You got some people saying, that's how jets crash. Because
it was a jet?
It was a jet. It was a private jet.
Okay.
And it nosedived, right? So some people are saying, yeah, that's how jets crash. Other people are saying, that's not how jets crash. Mm. I mean, everyone's an expert on the internet. Mm-hmm. So I don't know about all that. Mm-hmm. I do know it was a 43-year-old jet, though.
It's a jet, though. I don't think that matters. I don't think that matters. I mean, I know jets,
I don't know the lifespan of jets.
Yeah,
but,
let's not say that.
We still got, I know it's different, but we got military aircraft from the Vietnam War still flying around Afghanistan a couple of years ago, so.
Yeah, so, not really sure. So, so it was doctors and who else on the plane?
Doctors, nurses, and a Mexican minor. And she was getting treated. They didn't say what disease, but, life-saving disease. She was getting treated in Philadelphia.
Anytime I hear that a plane went down with doctors and nurses on it, that's just sketch to me.
Oh.
Because, you never know what these people know or what these people can offer. And, they might have just wanted to take everybody out. Yep. So I'm not really sure on that. I just think it's weird that we having all these plane crashes.
I mean, for the past, year, 2 years, we've had significant amount of plane malfunctions and crashes and all this stuff. So that's very weird. Any other thoughts on the Philadelphia crash?
Nah.
Not a lot of information. Not a lot of information at all.
Yeah, they need to do a deep dive investigation or something.
Other people are saying, here it is again. Some people saying one thing, the other thing. They're saying there was very little plane debris, and the crash site looked very odd. So I don't know. I mean, I've seen pictures of the crash site. I wasn't there, so the ground impact zone, it looked. I mean, I'm no plane expert, but, there's word going around that there wasn't much debris.
Well, that wouldn't make sense.
Well,
that sounds like signs of foul play to me.
Speaking of foul play. So, my personal opinion, I think Philadelphia one maybe a coincidence. Maybe something actually did go wrong. The DC one, that's when questions start to come arise because, like you said, to add to what you said, those boys should not be, crashing planes and helicopters and stuff.
They don't crash.
And so I was watching this podcast about this flight, this tower control, right? And he's like, yeah, when you got military aircraft landing at a civilian airport, they got the civilian air traffic control. Then you got the military traffic control, and they're talking back and forth. Then you're talking to the aircraft. So this military aircraft is getting two different channels of information, where to go, where to land, whatnot. And especially, he said, especially in D.C., this should not happen, especially in D.C., of all places.
Right.
And so there's 3 people in the Black Hawk. 2 of them were male, 1 of them were female. And before they released her name, her social media pages were scrubbed, deleted, tossed out. And people are saying, well, it's for privacy reasons, blah blah blah. But the other two, people on board,
right,
their social media information is still up there, and they're saying she might have been the one that I was actually piloting the helicopter. No official word, but they're saying she was the one piloting the helicopter. And then what else?
Wasn't it a training flight too? That's what they said. They were saying it was a training exercise.
Yes. Mm-mm. What do you mean?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So okay, look, I'm not gonna say anything sexist or anything, but we're doing a training exercise with the female pilot. We know just females are less calm and capable under stress than males are. So why would we doing a training exercise over the Washington airport with this woman? So I'm very confused on how that's happening. And then secondly, they got a lot of other people speculating that, well, you can remote control a Black Hawk from a distance, and maybe that happened, because that don't make sense. So let's say she was flying it, right? And the people at the air traffic control, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? She could easily pull into some different direction just accidentally, but she goes straight at it.
Yep.
So that's not computing.
So yeah, with the air traffic control, multiple responses were said to the helicopter, no response back. Mm-hmm. To the civilian traffic control, at least, maybe not the military one. We don't have info on that one, but helicopter is it's a lot easier to maneuver than a plane.
Right,
plane is one direction. Helicopter, you can go up and down on a dime, can turn back. You can go backwards in a helicopter. Can't do that in a plane. Mm-hmm. Side to side, very easy to maneuver a helicopter compared to a plane.
Right,
and like the video. I'll put the video up right now as we're talking, but go straight into it. Mm-hmm. And, some helicopter, or not some, but pilots are saying, they have transponders on both of them, saying, it's a incident transponder. Traffic collision alert system.
Right.
All modern aircraft have that. And my thought is, on a road with car accidents, it's very 2-dimensional, right? Car going this way, that way, boom, collision. But in the air, you have that 3rd dimension of altitude. Mm-hmm. So you are lining up 3 points of contact: left, forward, left, right, and then up and down. Perfectly.
Yeah, so it had to be intentional. Perfect. It had to be intentional if you did do it. Yeah.
Like, lined up perfect. 3 different axes lined up perfectly.
Yeah, when you put the video, people are going to see that they flew right into it. Yep. My thing is, I'm just not understanding. I don't think the pilots did that. It just don't make sense.
So, 3 months before this, Lockheed Martin, who makes the Black Hawks, they released a video of Black Hawk controlling itself. No one inside the no one inside the cockpit, no one inside in the aircraft at all. Mm-hmm.
It took off, flew for 30 minutes over a U.S. Army base in Kentucky before safely landing on its own. So what made this possible? It's called ALIAS, an acronym for Air Crew Labor in Cockpit Automation System.
And people are saying, oh, they're they can be hacked easily. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
If Lockheed Martin released that video and said that they could be controlled remotely, then that's definitely a possibility. But I don't see 1/60th operators flying into a civilian airplane. Mm-hmm. I just don't see that. Yeah. I mean, that's really all there is to know on the planes issue. There's not much information until they launch a federal investigation, which I don't know where that's at. I ain't heard nothing about that for either. What you call it? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean. But I think it had to be some type of saboteur type act, because I don't see those highly trained pilots flying into stuff. You don't hear them flying into stuff anyway.
No.
If you go on like the Army recruiting videos, you see them flying the planes through like ravines low to the ground, like damn near touching the water with the plane and everything. No. So they know how to move it. Mm-hmm. They know how to move it. So yeah, I mean, that's really all I got to say on this.
Yeah. So, final thing, you know, my personal opinion, I think the Philadelphia plane crash was, you know, coincidental. At this time, I think it probably was an accident. But this DC crash, there are too many factors, too many questions. There are way too many questions. I'm not saying, you know, it was intentional or what the motive is, but there's a lot of questions to be answered. That's all I'm saying.
My personal opinion is both of them look fishy.
Oh.
Both of them look fishy.
Uh-huh.
A lot of questions not answered. No investigations being launched. You don't investigate something if you don't want something found out. That's my bottom line. So that's my take.
All right.
Yep. Besides that, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Instagram. You know, I post on there as well. And yeah, we appreciate all the support.
Yep.